Welcome back to Entertainment This Week, a new weekly program from DM Reviews where on Sunday nights we go over the top headlines in movie and TV shows from the past week. This is the fourth Entertainment This Week episode, so make sure to check out the previous three, which you can find on the channel, and I believe you have a playlist filled with the previous installments. Before I get into the news, I would just like to point out that there are timestamps which you can find in the description, so if you're worried about spoilers or if you're only interested in certain news headlines, I advise you to check the description. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, and follow DM Reviews on Twitter. Link should be in the description. Also, make sure to check out Demerit Commissions in the Discord server below for great thumbnails, profile pictures, film backgrounds, and so much more. Make sure to stick around for the end of the video where I will tease what videos we have in store for the rest of the week. So without further ado, let's get into the news. Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi coming out this Friday, has said that he would love for his character to cross over with Tom Holland's Spider-Man in a future MCU project. There is precedence for this in the comics, where a 1979 comic run saw Shang-Chi and Spider-Man team up with Black Widow and Nick Fury to stop a Hydra assassination plot. However, Simu Liu is referring to a more recent comic run where Peter loses his spider sense, so he learns martial arts from Shang-Chi. I, for one, would be very interested in seeing this play out in the MCU, and hope seeing the Shang-Chi movie will only make me more excited for a potential crossover between the two characters. Shang-Chi is coming out this Friday, and we do hope to have a review out for that this weekend, so make sure to stick around for that. So in other Spider-Man news, the long-awaited trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home movie released this week, which contains several exciting teases for Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Lizard, Sandman, Electro, and the one which personally got me the most excited, Charlie Cox's Daredevil. For those who have not seen the two Daredevil videos I have up on the channel, I am a huge fan of the Netflix Daredevil TV series, and I am dying to see the character brought into the MCU. I did a reaction video for that on the trailer, so make sure to check out that video. And in honor of the new trailer, I also did a video where I ranked every live-action Spider-Man movie. So those should be the two most recent videos on the channel, so make sure to check those out. The theater chain Cinema World has listed Spider-Man No Way Home's runtime as being 2.5 hours. It is not yet clear whether or not this is the true runtime or merely a placeholder. I would prefer the movie be shorter, since I would like for this movie to focus on Peter, MJ, May, Ned, all the characters this franchise's own characters, and have all the multiverse characters, maybe Daredevil or the villains brought from the Raimi and Andrew Garfield movies. So they'd be off to the side as the villains, but the true focus of the movie should be on Peter, MJ, Ned, and May. And I am worried that a rather bloated runtime, such as the one that this is being reported, may signify that this will not be the case. Variety has reported that Venom Let There Be Carnage will not be delayed to 2022, which is surprising considering just last week reports came out that the movie had already been delayed to mid-January, so this definitely has me wondering if Sony maybe just changed their mind, and there was that point in time where the movie was delayed. This also bodes well for Jared Leto's Morbius movie, as Venom 2 would have been delayed to its current release date, so it now seems likely that Morbius will stay put for now in its January release date. Marvel is now developing a Halloween special for Disney Plus for the release of Halloween of 2022. They are currently searching for a male Latino lead in his mid-30s, and reports suggest the Halloween special will be Werewolf by Night. Considering that this is being developed by Marvel Studios, I believe that this will be inside the MCU, and it might be similar to what we were getting in the holiday season of 2022, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Halloween special, where they're just trying out a bunch of different things with Disney Plus, seeing what people like and what people don't like. So I'm very excited for this because it's MCU and I trust them for the most part. Kevin Feige recently confirmed on the Phase Zero podcast of comicbook.com, which is hosted by Brandon Davis, that Domonique Thorne will appear in the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie. Set photos have recently confirmed that Thorne is actively on the set for this movie. Thorne will be playing Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, which you will hopefully be able to see later on in the upcoming Disney Plus series titled Ironheart. I'm not sure when that's supposed to be released, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be after Black Panther too, so this will probably be the introduction to her character. Shortly after the release of Iron Man 3 back in 2012, I think, Marvel released a short film entitled All Hail the King, which showed what happened to Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery after the events of Iron Man 3. For those who don't remember, in that movie he played an actor who played the fake Mandarin, and this short film shows what happened to him while he was in jail after the events of Iron Man 3. The short is now on Disney Plus, and I highly recommend watching it because it is good, and will most likely connect to the upcoming Shang-Chi movie, considering the real Mandarin will be in the movie, and Ben Kingsley has been confirmed to reprise his role as Trevor Slattery in the film. The upcoming Shazam sequel, entitled Shazam! Fury of the Gods, has wrapped filming, as confirmed by director David F. Sandberg. The film is currently scheduled for a June 2023 release. Army of Thieves, which is a prequel to Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which we have a review for on the channel, will release on Netflix on October 26th, and a trailer has been released. It will focus on the, I don't know what title he likes to go by, but locksmith maybe. He would break in. He was the guy who was going to Dieter, who would help break into the safe. So we'll focus on him. It's going to be pre-apocalypse, I think. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch this because I was not a huge fan of Army of the Dead, so it'll probably come down to what the ratings are like for that. But that will be coming out on October 26th, and it definitely sounds interesting, so I might check it out. The upcoming spy film Red Notice, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot, will drop on Netflix on November 12th. I am a huge fan of this cast, so I am very excited for this movie. The long-awaited Beverly Hills Cop 4 is finally in production at Netflix, with Eddie Murphy set to star. The sequel will reportedly begin filming soon in California. NBC Universal Chief Content Officer Suzanne Rovner said that NBC would love to do a reboot of The Office, and they are just waiting for Greg Daniels. It seemed likely a reboot would bring back a large portion of the cast, since many cast members, most noticeably Jenna Fisher and Ed Helms, have both been very supportive of the idea. At the moment, Greg Daniels is working on Amazon's Upload, which a season 2 is currently in the works for, and Space Force for Netflix, which recently finished filming season 2. In Space Force, you can find Greg Daniels reunited with Office star Steve Carell, so if you want to see more of those two together, I recommend checking that one out. I was not a huge fan of the first season. I definitely had higher hopes for it, but I'm very excited where season 2 could go for, because there were a couple episodes that I think showed the true potential of a show like this. So I'm very much hoping that the second season will focus more on what I liked and not on what I didn't like. I would personally prefer we not get a reboot or season 10 of The Office due to the declining, or at least in my opinion, the declining quality over the show's last few seasons, but I have to say I would definitely check one out, which is probably why they should make one, because I'm sure I would watch it, so I hope they don't do it, because I have a feeling it would not add on to the original, so, we'll see what they do. My guess is that one will never happen, though, because I don't know why a show like that needs one. I would rather an original workplace comedy. The first footage from the new Matrix movie, officially titled The Matrix Resurrections, was shown at CinemaCon. The footage has not yet been released to the public, and I don't think it's been confirmed what it was shown in it, so I will not discuss what I have heard has been seen in it, but there are plenty of places online where you can find what people are saying was seen in the footage. An untitled animated film set in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender is confirmed to be in the works for a theatrical release. I discussed in last week's edition of Entertainment This Week that the upcoming James Bond film No Time to Die was unlikely to be delayed again, since the studio has already lost millions in marketing with each delay. It seems like this was in fact the case, since MGM has confirmed No Time to Die will stick with its October 8th release date. The early reviews are in for Candyman, and they are very positive, with the film earning an impressive Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 85%. We may have a review of that out for that movie within the next week or so make sure to stay tuned for that. The first look at the upcoming Jurrasic World Dominion movie was released at CinemaCon, and reports suggest it heavily features older cast members from the original Jurassic Park movie, and there's also plenty of running from dinosaurs, which I hope this movie will feature heavily. This movie has a great idea, and I love the idea that we can just see people running away from dinosaurs for 2 hours. And I hope that's really what this movie is, rather than a bunch of crazy, not crazy stuff going on. This movie should be crazy, it shouldn't make any sense. That's kind of what I hope, and not because just that's what these movies have become. Jurassic Park was somewhat realistic, I guess, and that's just not what they are anymore, and I hope they really just embrace the craziness. And it seems like, from what I'm hearing, that will hopefully be the case. The Da Vinci Code prequel series, which will be titled The Lost Symbol, will be released on Peacock on September 16th. The hit Karate Kid sequel Netflix series Cobra Kai has been renewed by Netflix for a 5th season. Manifest, which was cancelled after its 3rd season, has been renewed by Netflix for a 4th and final 20-episode season after the show has gained quite the following on Netflix since the show's cancellation. This should be quite the relief for fans, as the show was meant to be 4 seasons, and the 3 seasons left plenty of questions unanswered. The wildly popular Korean zombie film Train to Busan is getting an American remake. I am very nervous about this, since I love the original, and I am very worried a remake is pointless and won't have the same heart that the original had, and will instead focus on action set pieces, where the first one had somewhat of a smaller budget than an average American blockbuster, and it really used that to its advantage to tell a great character-driven story, which I loved about it, and I'm very worried about an American remake. So that is it for the news from the past week. Now on to what we have coming later this week. Later tonight at around 8:30, we should have a review out for Vivo. Then on Monday, we plan to have a video coming out about the upcoming Last of Us TV adaptation for HBO. Then on Wednesday, we should have a review out for episode 4 of What If early in the morning, which will also probably contain somewhat of a reaction or breakdown of Easter eggs that I noticed. And then later in the day, a video which will most likely pertain to anime, but details are not yet going to be announced. Then to round off the week on Friday, I plan to do a video where I discuss why I believe The Dundies is the most important episode of The Office. If you're excited for all of that and more videos, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss it. Make sure to comment what you thought of all this news and which piece of news has you